So I heard this quote on a podcast the other day, and it's kind of stuck in my brain quite a bit. And the quote was that work expands to fill available time. Now, at first listen, you might be like, what is that? What does that mean? But when you sort of say it a few times over in your head, it becomes so true and so relevant in so many different ways. At least in my life, I genuinely would love to know. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to this in any way. But, so, for example, it's only a certain set of people or who do certain things that this will apply to. If people just work a 9 to 5 and then outside of that just don't do anything else, then that probably doesn't apply to you. But if you own your own business, if you have a side hustle, if you have a hobby or something else that you are trying to pursue, so for me it's videos, content creation, YouTube and things like that. It even applies to schoolwork in a sense as well. I know a lot of you watching this are probably in school or university or studying or anything like that. Like, the work expands to fill available time. And what it means is, if you don't set a boundary for things, if you don't put a limit on what you're doing, then it's just going to expand to be everything you do and your whole day and your whole life. And it's not a good thing. A thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently is I've been writing a book. If you follow me on any of my other socials or if I've been following along or been reading along with the short stories I've been publishing, you'll know that I posted my first short story, and that was like almost a month ago, and I've barely even started the next one. And the reason is because my YouTube work always takes priority. Like, if I've got a spare hour, a spare 2 hours, I'll go, right, I need to edit because I need to get the next main channel video out, or the next second channel video out, or something like that, or, oh, I might as well stream because I've got 2 hours free, or let's go record tonight. Whereas actually, what I should do is go, I'm going to set an hour every other day where I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write. And the reason in doing that, in scheduling something and putting a set time and a set place for something, is because otherwise work will expand to fill the available time. If you're studying really hard for a test and you've got a spare hour, you could, don't get me wrong, obviously I know you should be revising, but there's a certain point where I think you should also be living your life. You're in your childhood still, or your teenage years, or your early 20s, whatever it is, whatever position you're in, you should still be going out. Whereas you might, or even just chilling and doing nothing, or seeing your family or seeing your friends. Because if you've got an hour through, you might think, oh, I'm going to study then because I've got an hour spare. Whereas it should be like, oh, actually, I've not seen that specific friend in a couple months. I should have gone and seen them with that hour. And like I said, I apply it a lot to my book because I've not had any, I always say to myself, oh, I've not had time to do it, but in actual fact, I have had time to do it. It's just that I've been replacing that time with other things that I've put as a higher priority in my brain. It's almost like streaming recently. I recently set up a streaming schedule where I'm now going to do it twice every week on a Tuesday and Thursday, and actually that's going to be so much better, because before it would be, oh, if I have an evening free, I might stream. Like, before, editing or sessions with friends would always take priority. Always take priority. Like, I don't care what it is, I'm playing with my mates before streaming. And actually, that hindered my ability to get better at streaming, to build the community, to give people that trust in that they know I'm going to be live, because sometimes I would go a couple weeks without live streaming because it just wasn't that priority, and the other work expanded to fill that space rather than setting times where I'm going to do this specific thing. So what's the fix to this? I think the fix to this is working to a bit of a schedule or a to-do list, whereby on set days you go, I'm going to have X amount of time to do this other thing that I've found myself not having time to do, but now it's become a non-negotiable. Like, even like going to the gym. Every morning recently, I've been going to the gym, and I've now set that as a non-negotiable. Like, whatever I do, I'm going to take that hour out of my day to go to the gym, sit in the sauna, and I feel so much better for it. And I've made that a non-negotiable, but and because I've made it a non-negotiable, there's never once a time where I go, oh, actually, no, I'm going to edit because I need to get this video done. Even if I need to get this next video done, I still go, right, well, I need to go to the gym because I've set that in my brain. That is what I need to do for every aspect of my life, just to make sure that my time is divided up correctly. And actually, it doesn't even hinder that one thing that you're taking away from, because oftentimes I find when you overwork yourself or you don't do the other side projects and you just focus all of your energy on the one thing, you'll burn out very quickly, you'll get bored of it, you'll probably resent it, you'll procrastinate a hell of a lot more. Like, if I edit for 4 hours straight, then I'm going to start procrastinating at some point, because I might, like, my energy might start to dwindle, or my focus on it might start to just, like, waver a little bit. Whereas if I did an hour and a half, had an hour to write my book or go to the gym, or 15 minutes to just go on a walk, and then came back to it, I'd be refreshed, I'd be ready to go again. And so actually, even if you're taking the time out of it, it doesn't actually hinder the end progress, because I still, in my opinion, think you're re-energized and you stay at that, like, higher level of work and energy and focus. I also think this applies to everything outside of work. Like, with a lot of people, I think you can very much get sucked into the side hustle or whatever you're doing. Like, if I'm being entirely frank with myself, if I didn't have a girlfriend who I was like, right, I need to go spend time with, I would edit and stream and record almost every waking hour of my day. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy for anybody. And it's also not good. It's not a good way to spend your life. Like, don't get me wrong, grind away, try and succeed, and see if you can do something with whatever it is that you're pursuing. But at the same time, you need to live your life. You need to see your friends, your family. You need to set time aside to do those things. And for some people, they just don't do that. They don't schedule it in. And it's a big thing I've noticed with seeing friends. As you get older, it becomes very difficult to see your mates. Like, I'll go months without seeing certain friends of mine, and every time we see each other we go, oh, we need to do this more often, and we need to start, like, trying to actively see each other more. And then 6 months goes by and you're like, how did we even let that happen? Whereas another friend of mine, him and his girlfriend and me and my girlfriend, we all enjoy walking. So we said, right, let's go on a walk in January. And when we did that, we were like, let's try and make this a monthly thing. And because we've put that out there, we are now at the end of every walk going, right, when's everyone next free next month? Let's schedule it in. Because if you schedule it in, even if it's in a month, 2 months time, because you're, like, busy or you've not got the spare moments, those moments come round a lot quicker than you think. And because you're scheduling it in, it actually happens. You don't just forget about it. You don't just push it to the side, because again, it comes back to this work expands to fill available time, or other things, even if it's not work, expands to fill available time. If you've not got something booked in a month or 2 months with your friend, you're just not going to remember to even ask, because your brain will be filled and occupied with other things. Like, this is what I mean, months will go by and you'll just think, oh yeah, I've not seen them in forever. But you don't think about it because you're too busy, you're too preoccupied doing these other things. And then you let it slip, you let friendships slip, you let whatever it might be. It's you go months and months without seeing these people, and then you feel wrong, and then when you do see each other, it's fun and it's great, and you wish you did it more often. So do it more often, because life is too short to just work and not enjoy seeing friends and doing things and just getting outside and switching off. So next time you find yourself putting other things to the side and prioritizing stuff, and not feeling like you have enough time for a side project or a hobby or seeing a loved one or whatever it might be. Make the time, because I promise you will have the time when you actually look at it. It's just that you were filling that available time with work.